Hello, everybody. How are we doing tonight? Yeah, it was a small vacation, Zell. But we're here. We're back. Got season 3 of 2025 sports car series. We got round 2, Hockenheim Ring. Glad to be back. Hopefully the audio's good. Hopefully you guys can hear everything. Get some cars on track. See how my levels are in comparison. Give me a thumbs up in chat if audio sounds good. You hear no car. That is interesting because it is very much registering in OBS. Cool. Now you barely hear a car. All right. Turn it up. You just let me know, Chris, when it drowns out my voice. So, thanks again, everybody, for joining us for round number 2. Hockenheim Ring. We got season 3, 2025 sports car series is back. We did have round 1 at Hungaroring, which was pretty interesting from the looks of the scoring. You want an external cam? I'll give you an external cam. Hopefully that'll be a little bit better. I mean, that car is far off. But yeah, let's talk about Hockenheim real quick. We'll do a quick introduction, and then we'll jump into some stuff that was covered in round 1. And if you weren't able to catch that, I'd highly recommend go back and watching it on our YouTube channel. So just search for Track Limits Racing and check out. Oh, that's good. You can hear it now. Yeah, but check out round 1, Hungaroring. So here at Hockenheim, we got 16 turns and 4.5 kilometers. 3 classes on track at the same time. We got LMP3s, GT3s, and GT4s, and each of the not all the car classes are split up into Pro and AM. We do have LMP3 Pro and LMP3 AM this season. That's come back. And then, of course, we still have our GT4 Pro, GT4 AM categories as well. Yep, Zell, no Finn tonight. He's doing the convention circuit, and that's something that he's really good at and draws a lot of energy from. So we wish him a good convention. And we'll see him back for round number 3. And for those that want to mark that on your calendar ahead of time, that's November 1st. We're going to be doing 70 minutes at Sonoma. So that'll be pretty exciting. 54 minutes left in free practice. Let's jump around, see if we can find other people out on track. Oscar Brown's out here just cutting donuts like a madman. There's Matt Pyle running the Mercedes. Pile driver racing, and that is a big slide into the wall. We're going to see a lot of that, especially out of some of the medium speed corners here at Hockenheim Ring. I believe that is newcomer Jake Fulton in the LMP3. Looks like he's finishing out another lap before we transition over into qualifying. Those were good-looking donuts, and now I'm kind of hungry. Yeah, cold tires on this track is really, especially early on. Like while we're doing quali, which we'll have a lone quali session here in a minute. So while the track is still rubbering in, I think it's going to be pretty tricky. Watch for a pileup at the end of Parabolica into the hairpin. Yeah. Yeah, that's going to be interesting. That's going to be interesting. I think LMP3 is leading the field there. They're the ones that are probably like most likely to start the pileup, I think. Oh, got some blinking going on. Hopefully the stream is also keeping up. Everything from OBS is telling me it's going all right, but I've had stutters and spurts before. My internet's not the best. So let's jump into last round. And I don't have the results to put them on screen for you all, because I don't normally run the stream side of it. I'm just here to talk most of the time. So, but there are a lot of interesting facts to bring out of round one. Vincent LaRue, by the way, just dominated LMP3 Pro, and he's a scratch for tonight. He's not here with us. So 55 points coming out of round one, maximum you can bring in from the heat race and then the feature. But, you know, you do get some drop rounds. So, yeah. The stream looks good so far. A couple hiccups. That's good. Hopefully we'll keep that to a minimal, and hopefully we don't have a drop in the middle. That happens sometimes too. And I feel my heart goes out to Finn when we have to like stitch these things together. That's a big hang up. Wow, I can even see that. Are you guys seeing that? It's a big one. Not really sure why that happens. But it only happens in iRacing in OBS when streaming. Like if I've just got iRacing open and OBS is not open, nothing wrong. If OBS is open but I'm not streaming, nothing wrong. The moment I punch the stream button, it's like I'll just have these massive like hangs. So, but we'll get through it. We'll get through it. Anyway, back to Hungaroring, back to round one. So Vincent LaRue topping LMP3 Pro with 55 points. Ben O'Shea in second with 45, and Gian Cardoso coming up with 43 in the Pro category, which was, and Gian coming out swinging third best score in LMP3 Pro is a build another. This is actually a really new PC. You know about this, Chris? You know about this, Chris? I got a Starforge, not the top end, but I did get a Starforge. And again, I don't know if it's the PC or what, but whatever reason, we run into this sometimes. Another newer one. Okay. Yep. Just don't be poor, right? LMP3 AM. Jake Fulton, newcomer, 34 points. Followed by Cameron Robertson with also, well, actually, there's a tie at the top of AM. 34 points, Jake Fulton. 34 points, Cameron Robertson. It's interesting because Cameron Robertson, you know, maximized the scoring opportunity there in the heat race, but then lost a little bit of ground to Jake in the feature, and that's how Jake was able to claw back up and get into a push LMP3 AM into a tie. Emery Anderson didn't show in the heat, and then we got 32 points on the board for them. Or actually, I don't think that's true. I need to go back and take a look. Better yet, I'll come and haul away for. I know you will. I know you will. You're that kind of friend. I appreciate that. Let's pull up some times so that you guys can see what's going on with the different classifications while we're getting ready for the session of roller. Mike Lively on the top. That's pretty. That's not shocking. And then Ethan Hamlet. Michael Lively actually no points for round one, so he's coming in fresh and swinging pretty heavy in the 888. And then we got Stephen Wallace and Oscar Brown leading the GT4 categories, respectively. What's up, Muff? So back to round one, Hungaroring. GT3, everyone's going to be stunned to hear that Ethan Hamlet walked away with the maximum points on offer with 55. But Austin Green is tied for second with Tommy Kogan. So the two of them in GT3 rounding out the podium. I'm liking where this is going at 47 points each. And they're pretty evenly matched. Like 12 points out of the heat race for Austin, with 35 points for the feature, and then 10 points for Tommy with 37 out of the feature. And we are in lone qualifying. We've got 10 minutes of lone qualifying. It's going to be all the classes at the same time. It's going to be very chaotic. It's going to be really tough to follow along, but I'm going to try my best to give you guys an understanding of what we're seeing on timing and scoring as the times come in. Real quick, while they're doing the outlap, I want to talk about GT4 real quick. Stephen Wallace and Tanner Schiffner in GT4 Pro tied at 50 points. And they kind of like flip-flopped between the heat and the feature, with Steven taking down the heat and then Tanner taking down the feature. In GT4 AM, a tie between Oscar Brown and Paul York, with our very own Wookie, Logan Branson, with 30 points, sitting in third. Gonna need a Mark Coyne onboard quali lap. Yeah, let's do Mark. We'll do Mark. So let's jump in that roll bar. He's getting ready to finish this thing out. Let's pull up that track map. Can we get the track map? Let's see. Heck yeah. Cool. So he's gonna finish this lap out here at Hungaroring. So yeah, 16 turns here at Hungaroring. He's getting ready to go into Nord curve. Now he pushes down this quick straightaway going into turn 2. So you got turn 2, 3, 4 lining you up for the Parabolica. He's going to want to try and push and straighten the car out as much as possible before he hits the Parabolica. Up through the gears. Getting ready for the hard braking zone. Turn 1 or lap 1. This is where it's going to be spicy. Getting here to turn 6 at the 100-meter board, down into the gears in turn 6. Very tight hairpin. Pushes out wide. Side-by-side action. You're going to see some people invalidate their laps during the race. It's just going to be a matter of practice. Medium speed corners here. He's handling it quite well. Downforce on the LMP3 is pretty good. So out of the Mercedes complex, and now we got another short straightaway down to turn 11. On the brakes at Mobile 1, trying to take the straightest line possible, and now he's getting into the Sachs complex at turn 12. So 12, 13, 14 sets you up for the right-hander at 15. And this can get dicey, especially when people are going side by side, so that's going to be interesting. And then you've got Sud Curve to round us out. And he's going to come across the line. Where is he going to put it? Right now, Michael Lively on top with a 34.8, but Ben O'Shea, Mark Coyne in there with a 34.7. Look at that. Times are coming in for LMP3s. Let's switch back over to some roaming cams. We do have Tommy Kogan here punching in at 38.1 for top on GT3. Ryan Buchanan for GT4, and Andrew Matthias. Or it might be Matthias. I need to ask him. They're starting to post some times. We do have newcomer Reese Alport finishing their lap out in the McLaren. That was a bit wide. Might not count. Let's see. Nope, Alport does come across the line with a 39.9. Good for them. Corey Lobner, 33 points. We're looking ahead for Corey Lobner. He hasn't quite made a statement yet. One of the Mustang runners. Looks like Mustang GT4. This is my first race calling it with the Mustang. Matthias, thank you so much, man. Thanks for letting me know. C. Matthias, 2025. Is that like a sibling or a parent? Yeah, it is a lively thing, but it's also really cool. It also, like, I don't know what it is about the GT3, GT4 Mustang in iRacing. It looks really tall. Looks like a very tall chassis. And not like the Camaro in ACC where it looked like it was, like the bottom was like 10 feet off the ground. I mean, it just actually looks like a tall car. It's going to make you run the GT4 more often. I hear you. I hear you. Let's jump back. So right now, Gian Cardoso, top of the times. Luke Patrick coming in at a 33.9 for second fastest time. Let's find somebody getting ready to end out their lap. Mike Bowen in an Aston Martin, currently sitting in second with a 37.3. And he improves his time, but not his position. Taking another peek around. We do have some other GT4 runners that are going to finish a lap. I'm trying to find another. Here we go. Ben O'Shea. Sitting in seconds in the points. He's going into the Sachs Complex. Let's see what he's going to do. Got to have room for that big boy motor. Yep. Leave it to America to make a 10-foot tall motor. Is it the fastest? No. Is it the tallest? Yes. We're number one. Number one, baby. 33.295. Ben O'Shea punches in at 33.9 to go third fastest. Taking a look at GT4, Corey Lobner has shown up, ladies and gentlemen. 33 points for last round, but he's coming in with a potential quali going into the heat race. Let's take a peek at Oscar Brown in the AM class, currently second fastest with a 46.7. That's going to turn some heads. Ryan Buchanan, pile drive racing, and he is in Ford Mustang GT4 as well. Mustang's dominating the manufacturers right now in GT4 with 87 points. McLaren's sitting at 76. Taking another peek around. Newcomer Sophie Bozeman, currently sitting 6th in GT4 Pro with a 46.8. Good lap from the newcomer. Can you get a rear axle cam of the Mustang? I mean, yeah, I probably could hook that up. Probably could hook it up. I mean, go take a peek. Do we have that? I thought we could work out something with oh, there it is. Rear right suspension. Oh. And then he moves. It's fine. I think we are close to the end of qualifying. I don't see very many people left out on track. Nick Bowen. Glorious V8 sounds, yeah. Nick Bowen, top of the timesheets. 46.3. Punching in a good time. Michael Lively's still sitting on top. Scott Fleming, though, second with a 33.7, with Jaden Ledbetter 33.77, and Benjamin O'Shea with a 33.9. Ethan Hamlet 36.4, top of GT4 with Mike Bowen in second. Does improve his time. Nick Bowen, he's getting ready to finish his lap out in the Aston Martin, currently sitting on top with a 46.381. We're going to see what he punches in with. 2 to 5 in the LMP3. Yeah, it's yeah. So he's going to cool down, getting that 46.3, and Boozman jump into second with a 46.378, 2 thousandths of a second between them. That's a pretty big. That's a pretty big statement. There's the GT3 leader, Ethan Hamlet, going to come across the line, going to improve his time and make a statement. 36.190. GT4 2 are tied. No, they are 0.02 of a second. Yeah, 0.002. With Lobner really not that far behind. 46.5 isn't really keeping him out of it. So that's going to finish out qualifying. So we're going to go into the heat race. They're going to start grading up here in a minute. Let me see if I can get the grid on screen for you all. Again, apologies that I don't have some of these buttons already set up for this. We might have to do this differently. I might have to do this from the results screen. Yeah, this is going to be janky, but bear with me, folks. Let's switch on over. Let's clear the screen. Oh, seriously, clear. All right, cool. Yeah, we're going to have to do it from the iRacing screen. Apologies. Let's go to those results for qualifying. LMP3, Mike Lively. He's on top in the 888, followed by Jaden Ledbetter alongside him on the front row. Scott Fleming and Benjamin O'Shea. Second row, Luke Patrick and Gian Cardoso. Gian Cardoso finished third. We're going to see if he can maximize some points. First round was really good for Gian. Mark Coyne, the hardest working man in sim racing, alongside Jake Fulton and Emery Anderson are your LMP3 entries. Let's go take a look at GT3. Ethan Hamlet on the front row alongside Mike Bowen. Bruno Clemente joining us for this round. He's going to line up alongside Tommy Kogan with Kyle Potter and Sean Sullivan behind. Austin Green, he's sitting, I believe that is fourth row with Christopher Blue. Christopher Blue upgrading to GT3 this season. We're going to see how Austin can do because he came away from round one with some good points. And then we got Logan Cease and Reese Alport rounding out GT3 into GT4. Go take a peek. We got Nick Bowen and Sophie Boozman. Let's go to leader right now. Yeah, we'll focus on leader. But then Corey Lobner and Matt Pyle, second row of the grid. Ryan Buchanan, Oscar Brown, who's leading GT4 AM. He's going to be alongside Andrew Mathias. We got Paul York, Jameson Leckenby, Tanner Schiffner, Logan Branson. And then Dave Lively, David Schneider, and Stephen Wallace rounding out GT4. So thank you for letting me do that manually. We're going to get set up. They're going to be pretty close, if I remember correctly, to starting this. So let's go ahead and get that pulled up. Let's get the track map pulled up. And we hung. Okay, cool. Very cool. All right. They're basically free to race once the pace car comes in. And here we go.
Green flag.
Oh, we got an LMP3 in the... two LMP3s in the wall. Wow. Right out of the gates. That is mega unfortunate. Not sure who that was. Let's jump back to the GT3 runners. There's going to be some parts out on the ground. I believe that was Mark Coyne was involved in that. Maybe Gian Cardoso as well. I see him in the pits now. Ethan Hamlin gets a good jump, and he's off to the races. GT4s getting tangled on the exit of the corner. And that was a double bonk for Nick Bowen. Really unfortunate. The start has got people kind of Gian looped it, so red flag restart. I don't know if they're going to do that. I didn't see enough cars wreck. But Michael Lively gets the jump. Jaden Ledbetter in second place after the start. He gets the move on Scott Fleming. Luke Patrick's in fourth. Let's get a look-see at this battle right now. We got Scott right here. Let's get inside the roll cage. There we go. Again, apologies for the stutters, folks. I've never really been sure why this happens. We got some more carnage. Corey Lobner and Matt Pyle. Looks like they might have gotten tangled into something. Cold tires are going to be a thing right now. Definitely going to be a thing right now. Jumping back to TV3, let's go take a look in GT3. Close battle right now. We got some weaving down the start-finish straight. That's kind of weird. Yeah, I believe that's Bruno Clemente. He's missing part of his front end after a little bit of a bonk with, I believe, Nick Bowen was involved in that. That Lambo is sending it from, or no, that's not Lambo. That's a Corvette. Burke is missing the front end. Yeah, that was one of the race starts of all time, for sure. So we got, I believe, one of the lone vets in GT3 right now. Christopher Blue's making up some spots. Mr. Consistency's bringing the name brand to GT3. Sophie Boozman currently leading GT4. And GT4 AM, Oscar Brown in the BMW in second place right now. Vet Lambo, what's the difference? I think you know the answer to that. I think there's a cylinder difference, if I remember correctly. Lots of GT4s still in it right now. Oscar Brown making the move on Sophie Boozman? Well, now. Oscar Brown, GT4 AM leader, currently leading the field in GT4 category. So to give everybody an understanding, we do have two different classifications that are happening in both GT4 and LMP3 during this race. We have a Pro and AM category. They are scored together. What that means is if Oscar Brown finishes this race, he's going to get 15 points. He's going to get the maximum number of points that a GT4 car can get. And he's going to make himself quite a buffer because I believe the next closest GT4 AM is going to be Dave Lively, who is currently running in 6th. Lambos catch fire and vets don't. Oh, we got a spin in the background. What was that? Let's see if we can go back and take a look at that one. I didn't see which Lambo it was. I think that might have been Tanner. Yeah, Tanner got sideways there for a sec. I actually don't see an indicator. And there's Mark Coyne coming out of the pits. Yeah, it was a huge drift. But Tanner looks like he managed to keep it out of the wall. And that's a big deal. So we got a little bit of time still left. We're almost 5 minutes into the heat race here, which will set the grid for the feature. And this is going to be a 70-minute. So let's take a look at some of that carnage at the start of the race. I got to take a peek. So we had right out of the gates. Let's see if we can see what happened. So at the start, Mark Coyne, Gian touches the dirt and just missiles over into Mark Coyne. That was wild. Can we get a different angle on that? Give me the zoom, enhance. Nope, seriously, give me TV3. Thank you. Yeah, so he touches the dirt and then just bodies Mark Coyne. That was nuts. Wow. Tommy? Question mark? What do you mean, Jaden? Let's go take a look at some of the other accidents that happened. So Mark then takes it to the pits. We got at the start Jameson Leckenby. He's in one of the Fords. Oh, wow. Logan? Logan, is that you? What just happened there? Okay. I'm not sure. Is that Logan? Like, who is that? Wow, man. Watching his stream, everyone disappeared. Network issue. That is so unfortunate. Absolutely unfortunate, man. We're going to jump down a little bit. We're going to take a look at what happened to Tommy. Oh, Tommy's already in the wall. I'm not sure what happened there. But he seems to be struggling, and he takes it to the pits. And then we've got the incident involving Corey. So Corey's... looks like he's getting out of turn 3. And then I guess he just bumps the curb, unsettles the rear end. Holds his brakes. Very smart. He's got to try and figure out how to loop the thing. And then finally we got the last one we were looking at the start of the race. This is the crash involving Matt Pyle. Oh, just both of them go wide out of the hairpin. Hairpin's going to be tricky. It's just going to be tricky. People are going to try and fight into the hairpin. It's not going to work. It's just not going to work. All right, so we'll go back to live. So back to live racing, and we've got Mike Lively. He is caught up to some of the GT4 traffic, so he's going to have to work his way through this while people are battling. And this is the part where it starts to get really dicey with the multi-class racing, so people are going to really have to keep their heads on straight. He's got a sizable gap with Luke Patrick. Scott Fleming, Jaden Ledbetter is all the way down in 7th. Let me look through the data and see if something happened to Jaden. Oh, we do have something. We do have something. What happened here? Let's go take a peek. Jaden's getting ready to go into turn 1. Oh, he touched the curb and turned into a skateboard. Unfortunate. That is not what you want to see. So back to live racing action. So in LMP3 right now, Michael Lively's sitting pretty comfortable. Closest battle on track right now is kind of between, I think, Emery Anderson, Jake Fulton right now, two LMP3 AM runners. Ethan Hamlin holding a commanding lead right now. He's already 10 seconds up the road from Mike Bolt. Let's go back to Sean Sullivan, though, Christopher Blue. We got some Ford on Corvette action here. And they are catching up to Bruno Clemente in a wounded AMG. That one's going to be Bruno just keeping it together, man. Keeping it together with that wounded AMG. Let's get some on-board action from Sean's perspective. Setting up for the final corner. He's really trying to keep close. He's not trying not to let these guys get too far away so he can try and make a move maybe into turn 1. Interesting. Yeah. Both going wide. I believe that was Bruno and Sean. Going to 3, 4, 5. Just going to try and straighten it out. It's risky taking that much curb because we've already seen Mustang spin out on that. All right, now we're lining up into the hairpin. Oh, this is very defensive right here. What's happening? What is happening? Both compromising their line pretty badly and giving Sean Sullivan a sniff. Actually, this battle is bringing Logan Reese into it. Or, excuse me, Logan Cease. We got Reese Alport, Logan Cease. And also, I need to go change Logan's color real quick. He is joined late, and I do not have the correct color for him. Yep. Logan. Set up. Okay. Should take care of that now. I mean, I thought it would, but maybe it doesn't. I don't know. Taking a look at GT4 action right now. We got Matt Pyle, Ryan Buchanan, teammates going at it. We got AMG on Ford Mustang action. Sophie Boozman still leading GT4 Pro with Oscar Brown having an enormous buffer in GT4 AM. He's currently running second overall in GT4, so this is a very good points haul for him, with his nearest competition being Logan Branson down in 8th. Hope everybody's having a good night tonight. You're watching round 2 of the Sports Car Series. This is season 3. We're at Hockenheim Ring. 12 minutes, 45 seconds into the heat race, getting set up for our feature. 70 minutes. Pit stops are going to be pretty exciting, I think. Hope we got a crash. What happened here? Go take a peek. Matt Pyle into Tanner Scheffner. Oh, a little nose to tail there. And that's what actually set us up for watching the battle between Matt Pyle and Ryan Buchanan. So we'll kick it back to live and keep watching. Man, Hockenheim is being pretty spicy so far. This battle between Christopher Blue, Sean Sullivan still going on. Bruno Clemente up the road, and we got a bunch of GT4 traffic they're about to have to go through. 14 people in chat hanging out with us. Thank you so much for joining the show. Hopefully the audio is okay. And yeah, we've still got the feature race coming up. I'm not sure what happened to the race data, but we're going to see if we can get that back up. Looks like the overlay died. Let's see if we can get that fixed. Can we reload the overlay? All right, maybe I need to go to studio mode and see if I can solve this problem over there. All right, so sources. Excuse me while I talk this out. I don't normally do this stuff, so. Not sure why the overlay is gone. Yep, I'm not sure what's going on with the overlay. Gonna keep trying to troubleshoot that. We'll move it to a roving camera so you guys can keep up with the action around track while I'm trying to figure out what's going on here. Not sure. Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on. It is not wanting to... The game in, or excuse me, the overlay in the game is just dropped completely. No idea why. No clue. This is super cool. Maybe I have to close the window and reopen the overlay, which is going to suck. But I guess we're going to have to do it. Why you do this to me, SDK? All right, we're going to restart the overlay. I'm going to keep the action on the roving cam real quick. Yep, all live timing will be lost. Yep, I know. Still need the overlay. Jeremiah, you're probably not wrong on that one. So let's see if we can get it going now. Yeah, I have no idea why the overlay has just stopped. Oh, there we go. Now we have something, but it's not like sized correctly. Like, what's going on? Don't understand. So if I go down here. Okay. All right. That is not correctly set up. I'm not sure what's going on here. It is... The overlay has not only needed to restart, but it is now broken, which is kind of weird. Trying to see if I can fix this. It doesn't seem to want to let me do it. Man, this is just terrible right now. I apologize, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, the overlay crashed, and then when it came back, it decided to have it offset for some stupid reason, which doesn't make any sense at all. Yeah, it's just rendering it incorrectly now, which is super cool. Very cool. Neat. Go ahead and try and clear the screen. Open it up again. All right, this is fantastic. Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on, folks. I don't know why. I do not understand what's going on. It just suddenly shifted the overlay like 100 pixels over or something. No idea why. This is terrible. I have no idea how to fix this. None. And close it again, reopen it, I guess. I don't know. I don't know. This is super annoying. Oh my god, dude. Ah. All right, let's see if I can do something else. It's so weird. I keep adding it back in and refreshing it, and it keeps scooting over each time I like close the app and reload it in. This makes no sense. Let's take a check real quick and see if we can understand what's going on from a timing and scoring perspective. The order is going to shift as people come across the line, so it's going to be kind of weird. In fact, what I'm going to do right now while we're waiting for that to get fixed, I'm going to switch over and just give you guys the current status right now. So if we go into... Oh, we just finished the feature race. Apologies, folks, that the overlay just decided to completely dumpster itself in the middle of the feature race or the heat race. Let me go to the results tab over here and see if I can give you guys an understanding of how things finished. Looks like we got Michael Lively at the top with Luke Patrick finishing second, Scott Fleming in third, Benjamin O'Shea, Jaden Ledbetter. Then we got Emery Anderson, Jake Fulton. So the LMP3 AMs finished in front of Giancarlo and Mark Coyne. And that's going to set the grid for LMP3 for the feature race. Let's jump into GT3s real quick. Ethan Hamlet top in the 46 with Michael Bowen finishing second. Kyle Potter in third. Austin Green in fourth. Oh, wait a minute. It says we still have 2 minutes in session. Or wait a minute. I bet this is the warm-up. Yeah, okay. Christopher Blue in GT3 finishing fifth. Good showing for him. Sean Sullivan, Logan Cease, Reese Alport, Bruno Clemente, and Tommy Kogan rounding out the GT3 runners. GT4 class, we got Sophie Boozman and Andrew Matias. Although that doesn't look like the finishing order. Did it just because it moved over? I wonder if it's on the wrong thing. Let's go see. Oh, there it is. Yeah. Okay. The finishing position. Yeah, this is not showing correctly. Yeah, this is not showing correctly. Unfortunate. Well, I would love to read you the results, but Gene's like, that's his drop round. Dude, this is my drop race, dude. The overlay's like dead. Like I can't get it to render correctly all of a sudden. It just started shifting magically to the left. And it's not the window. The window's still fit to screen like it should be. The actual image that's being rendered is being shifted to the left for some stupid reason. So I don't know actually who finished. It's so crappy that it won't show me the finishing positions for oh, there we go. Okay. Yeah, so Sophie Boozman, then Andrew Matthias managed to sneak around Oscar Brown, then Matt Pyle in fourth, and Tanner Schiffner in fifth. So at the top of GT4 Pro, Stephen Wallace, he's down in, I believe, 29th in the overall. So big points difference in the heat race between him and Tanner there, and then Sophie Boozman just running away with it. Very good race from Sophie, newcomer. And we got Oscar Brown, the GT4 AM. He's finishing quite a ways ahead of Paul York. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how that works out. Let's see if we can go back to overlay and see if we can get that functional. And there it is. I hate everything. Ladies and gentlemen, this is what it's like to be live. All right, so we're getting set up. Grid's getting established. And we got a 70-minute feature race on tap. Now, remember we got 3 classes on track here at Hockenheim Ring for round 2, and 50% fuel for all 3 classes. So limited fuel tank, 70-minute race. We're going to see some stops. It's going to be interesting to see how that plays out with pit strategy. People are going to try and do like an early stop, try and go long, We're going to see a Giga undercut. It'll be interesting. Let's jump over to... Let's go to... Yeah, we're going to go back into here real quick, and we're going to do the grid with the classes. Go to... So we're going to have Mike Lively and Luke Patrick with Scott Fleming, Benjamin O'Shea on second row of the grid with Jaden Ledbetter and Emery Anderson on the third row. Jake Fulton, Gian Cardoso, and Mark Coyne is going to round out your LMP3s, getting ready to go into the feature race. In GT3 category, we got Ethan Hamlet, Mike Bowen, followed by Kyle Potter and Austin Green, Christopher Blue in fifth, with Sean Sullivan sixth. Logan Cease, Reese Alport, Bruno Clemente, and Tommy Kogan are going to round out your GT3 runners. In GT4, Sophie Boozman's going to be on the front row with Andrew Mathias. Oscar Brown in GT4 AM, second row of the grid next to Matt Pyle. Tanner Schiffner and Ryan Buchanan on the third row of the grid, followed by Paul York and Logan Branson. Logan had a network issue, and that was pretty wild opening for the heat race. Corey Lautner, Jameson Leckenby, and Steve Wallace, Dave Schneider, Nick Bowen, who's going to try and recover some points, and Dave Lively round out the GT4. So let's go back to start of this race. On board with the leader. The leader. No, seriously, the leader. Okay, I guess not. We'll just go to Mike Lively.
Green flag.
And here we go. So yeah, Mike gets a good jump. Just taking a peek in the background, it does look like Luke Patrick getting the better of Scott Fleming. Jaden Ledbetter on the inside there in turn 3. Your GT4 runners are underway. We got the Aston Martin, Mike Bowen on the inside. Is going to force Kyle Potter wide a little bit, but nothing too argy-bargy in the background. It does look like we've got a slow GT3 in the background. That might be Bruno Clemente. Beamer showing the nose, but I don't think it's going to happen. Sophie Boozman gets a heck of a start, and we've got a gaggle of GT4 cars getting ready to go into turn 3. Mustangs are super close. Ryan Buchanan in the background, trying to get the move on Tanner Schiffner. That is a much calmer start to this race. And I do see, I say that, and then immediately there's a crash with Ben O'Shea. And it looks like Mike Lively getting forced a little bit wide there by Luke Patrick. Luke Patrick going to take the lead temporarily, but he's got the inside line. Mike Lively does as he's going into the final complex. Getting set up for the final corner here. This is some wild stuff. Let's go back to those GT4s now. Christopher Blue. Austin Green has a little bit of a moment. Is he going to send it up the inside? He is on the inside. He's got the inside line. That's a really good place to be getting ready to go into this final complex. But Austin Green just cuts the nose off. Gets set up for the final corner there. Luke Patrick goes off track. Luke Patrick falling down the order to the back of LMP3s. We're going to go take a look at that in a minute. Wild stuff. Very wild stuff. Let's go back to the GT4s. We got Matt Pyle, Oscar Brown, and Tanner Schiffner in the background there. They come out the final corner. Good stuff so far. Thank you guys for being really patient with me while I was working through the technical difficulties. I'm hoping the feature race we can have a trouble-free experience, and that is a GT4 going into the wall. That is a bonk. That is Dave Lively. Dave Lively getting ready to go into turn 2, catches the curb, and Tony Hawk's it into the wall. That is unfortunate. Unfortunate. Let's see what happened to Luke Patrick early on. So we are in lap 2. Same deal. Like, He hit the curb on the inside, and then he bounces out, hits the rumble strips. Car's already unsettled, and then he just kind of like loops it. But it looks like he managed to keep it out of the wall. I don't think he hit anything. So that's good for Luke. Maybe an early stop, he can try and work his way back in it. Taking a look real quick at LMP3s. In LMP3 AM, Gian Cardoso's got his hands full with Emery Anderson. Let's look at it from Emery's perspective. Losing a little bit of ground to Gian. On the exit of 5, heading into Parabolica. Let's go back to Jake Fulton, because I think Jake is actually the one that's going to try and make a play here. Although he's sawing at the wheel on the hairpin. I think he went a little bit deep. Maybe he's got Benjamin O'Shea in the background. Actually, Benjamin's a little bit further back, so probably just early understeer. Tires still not in the window yet. That's the LMP3 battle right now. Jaden Ledbetter is actually under pressure from Scott Fleming. So we do have some, looks like some GT4 AMs, Dave Lively, Logan Branson, both in the pits. That's unfortunate. Ben O'Shea is actually starting to get in a bit of a scrap as well. Let's go take a look at what's up with Ben right now. Ben O'Shea trying to make a move on Jake Fulton, getting ready to go into turn 3. Clinical. Mark Coyne in the background. I think he's going to try and make a move as well. Emery Anderson starting to gain a little bit of ground on Jake Fulton. She's using those LMP3 Pros as a buffer. Back into GT3 now we go. Bruno Clemente, Sean Sullivan. Kyle Potter's actually driving off in the background, or in the foreground there. He's actually putting a pretty good gap on this field right now. Let's actually get the intervals pulled up. We got the fastest lap. We got our best time. Let's get our intervals pulled up as well. There we go. That'll help. Thank you all so much for being here. We're watching round 2, Sports Car Series, Season 3. We're at Hockenheim Ring. We're in our 70-minute feature. We're definitely going to have some pit stops here. So there's going to be some strategy to figure out. We do have an Aston Martin in the background. Is that Tommy? Tommy Cogan in the 55. I'm so used to him running a different paint scheme, so it took me a minute. I had to do a double take. Jaden Ledbetter setting a banger, 34.558 last lap. Putting pressure on Mike Lively, trying to unlock that pace. So in the GT4 Pro category this time around, it's a little bit different. Oscar Brown actually has just had a moment. We need to figure out what happened to Oscar. Whoa, that's a big moment. What is all this? What is all this? So Tanner Schiffner, we're going down into the hairpin. What's about to happen? What's about to transpire? Oh, man. Tanner deep on the brakes and just clobbers. I think that was Oscar. Wow, that was a missile. So then that occurs, and then we've got this incident with Ryan Buchanan. So Ryan Buchanan, okay, so he's in this. Ryan hit there. Oh, and then the Mustangs come together. Really unfortunate, man. really unfortunate. And we also had a moment here with Corey Lobner as well. Corey Lobner was involved in it. I just want to see what happens to Corey. Corey goes the... Oh, he's the one that gets pit maneuvered. Okay. So big shakeup in GT4. Oscar Brown in another crash. What happened here? Oh, when he tried to straighten the car out, he went into the wall and then just jumped to the pits. That's unfortunate, man. Oscar had some really good points going into this in GT4 AM. Maybe he can do a fast repair and get back out on track quickly. Although it looks like he is calling it. Back to the live racing. Let's go take a look. Mike Lively still a half second up the road from Jaden Ledbetter, about to hit some more traffic in the GT4 category. Let's see how they navigate it. Oh, man. Oh, the GT4 puts him on the grass. Jaden, did he just hit? Did he just hit the GT4? Oh, man. He just tapped Corey Lobner. Just letting him know he's there. OG and Cardoso in the background. Okay, so we got ourselves a horse race here in LMP3. So Mike Lively currently in the lead. They're getting ready to go into turn 2. GT4 is braking a little bit early to try and help this matter out. Jaden Ledbetter loses out a little bit, and Gian Cardoso in the background looking mighty dangerous. I see some GT4s going off track. Go take a peek from Scott Fleming's perspective. Scott Fleming is all over the gearbox of Benjamin O'Shea right now. Down parabolic. Okay, he's showing him the nose early. I thought he'd get a little bit more draft. Oh, he brakes early. Oh, he sees the GT4s in front, and man, wow, calculated. Luke Patrick locks it up, slides into Gian Cardoso, and Scott Fleming just moves right up the inside to take the place. He's got to navigate these GT4s, and they are fighting for position, so this is spicy. This is spicy stuff. He's taking a conservative line. Looks like Luke Patrick in the background. Or was that Luke Patrick, or was that Benjamin O'Shea that locked up? I think it was Ben O'Shea that locked up and slid into Gian. But again, just applying a little bit of pressure on these LMP3s without that ABS assistance, and man, they can turn into they can spin like a top in a heartbeat. And just like that, Scott Fleming back up into third, getting a good points haul in this feature race. Let's jump into GT4 category right now because we got a lot of action happening right there. One in particular involving Nick Bowen and Paul York. These guys are not in the same class. They got the LMP3s coming. Everybody's jockeying for position. On the brakes, turn 3, going through 4, 5. LMP3's using the wide line through 5, which is the smart play. You got the downforce. You can get around the GT4s that way. So now we've got Nick. So Nick in the Aston Martin. We're going to see what the Aston Martin can do in terms of straight line speed when compared to the Porsche. He does have the inside line going into turn 6. Sets up the pass. Has a bit of a compromised exit. Now the Porsche, using acceleration, just kind of just moves off into the distance. And we got Jameson Leckenby in the background now, putting Nick Bowen under pressure. So they go into the Mercedes complex. Oh, we've got, is that Tanner Schiffner into the wall? Tanner Schiffner has crashed, ladies and gentlemen. Can we see what happened there? Can we see what happened? Okay, so he's coming out of, I think this is Mobile 1. I don't think we're in Mercedes yet. Oh, he touches the rumble strip on the outside, and it just slings the car into the wall. These rumble strips, man, they are dangerous. They are very unassuming, and they will wreck your car. And we've got a GT4, and he's going to have to back it up. He can't go straight because he'll go into the pit road. I believe that was Jameson Leckenby. Is that Jameson? Yeah, it's Jameson. He's still trying to get the STR4 turned around. Man, that was probably your moment, bud. You need to get that thing back out on track. He's going to bring some popcorn with him. That is... Hockenheim is just really delivering some spicy stuff right now. So, Scott Fleming sneaks his way up into third after some shenanigans involving Ben O'Shea and Gian Cardoso at the hairpin. And he is moving through the GT4 traffic, trying to catch back up to Jaden Ledbetter. Last lap from him was a 35.39. I mean, right now, both Mike and Jaden are driving in mid to high 34s. I don't know if Scott's got the juice. I mean, he does have a high 34 in him as his best lap, but I'm gonna have to find something a little bit faster than that. Tanner Schiffner, Stephen Wallace in the pit. Stephen Wallace, I think, might be retired. He's been in there for almost 3 minutes. Yeah, I can't even see when Stephen jumped to the pits. So Tanner Schiffner back out on track. He's going to try and farm some points. That's the thing you need to remember, ladies and gentlemen, is that you get a fixed number of drop rounds, but it is very important for you to go into these feature races and try and farm as much points as possible, especially because if you take a look at our LMP3 and GT4 categories, we do have GT4, LMP3 and GT4 Pro, LMP3 and GT4 AM. They score together. So all LMP3s score together, Pro and AM. All GT4 Pro and AM score together. And what that means is you can set up some pretty wild buffers. Like right now, Paul York, let's go take a look at Paul right now. He's running currently in 4th in GT4 right now. He's got 4 spots on Dave Schneider right now, who's running in 8th. And Paul actually was tied for 1st with Oscar Brown. Oscar Brown currently is still trying to chase down Logan Branson right now. I think they're in 10th and 11th, respectively. So Paul York getting a very good bump in points if he can convert this. Currently running in 4th in the overall, too. We got an Aston Martin going wide there in the back. I believe that is Nick Bowen, who's in GT4 Pro. He's in 5th right now, trying to chase down Paul York. And then we got these GT3s that are still duking it out. We got Sean Sullivan and Tommy Cogan in the background right there. And looks like Mike Bowen's in there too. Yeah, Mike Bowen chasing down Tommy, and Sean Sullivan in the number 6, currently sitting in 4th. Bruno Clemente has gotten a bit of a gap now, 2.7 seconds. So Bruno currently solidly in 3rd, with Ethan Hamlet currently running almost a 10-second lead on Kyle Potter. Kyle Potter looking to get some good points. GT3, good GT3 points right now could help him in the battle against Austin Green, Tommy Kogan. Austin Green right now. Austin Green, I don't even see him. Where's Austin at? Oh, Austin's in the back of the field right now. Like he's still trying to climb his way out of the cellar. Oh no, he's actually out. Austin Green's out. 6 laps in, ladies and gentlemen. Austin Green's out. So, points shakeup in GT3. That's for sure. $19 people joining us for round number 2 at Hockenheim Ring. Thank you so much for being here. If you want to mark your calendars in advance, we do have round number 3 showing up November 1st. We're going to be doing 70 minutes at Sonoma, which with multi-class, that's going to be spicy. I think you're going to want to tune into that. You are a fan of people under duress in multi-class racing. I think Sonoma is going to be a race you're going to want to tune into. our two LMP3 AM runners, Emery Anderson, Jake Fulton, currently running 8th and 9th respectively in the category. They are locked in a pretty close battle right now. 3 tenths between them. They're trying to make some moves, see what they can do. Yeah, that is going to be, I think it's going to be the run down to the final corner. That's going to be the big one. And then I think drag race out of the final corner to the uphill section. That is going to be interesting if people try to push that thing side by side. Yeah, turn 7. That's another one. Although I don't know which version they're doing. I don't think they're going to do roller coaster. So I think it's going to be the cup layout, like the NASCAR cup layout. Sophie Boozman has her hands full right now. Matt Pyle in the pile driving AMG is not that far behind. Although Sophie's going to get a little bit of a breather with this GT4 traffic moving through. Oh, man, they are close, too. They are so close. Is that Kyle Potter going through? No, that's not Kyle Potter going through. I think it's Bruno. Yeah, it's Bruno Clemente going through it. And he's being chased down by Mike Bowen. So Bruno having a moment and goes off track. Can we see what happened to Bruno? Let's go see what happened to Bruno. Okay, so he's got some GT4s. Oh, interesting. He just loses the back end in the final complex right before, the penultimate corner. And then that brought Mike Bowen into it. Interesting. Interesting dynamic. Oh, we are doing roller coaster. We're doing multi-class with roller coaster. Oh my God. Oh, Jaden. This man loves violence. All I can say, lady. The first time two people try to go side by side in a roller coaster, and it just turns into a pile of car. All right, cool. We got some Mustang GT4s. We got Corey Lobner on Ryan Buchanan. Corey Lobner currently sitting in 6th. Corey is, man, I got him marked as one of the main folks that I'm like focused on for like a look ahead number, because Corey had some really good points out of season 2, and just given the problems that Stephen Wallace and Tanner Schiffner have run into this race, I was really thinking that Corey was gonna try and come away with some good points. Nick Bowen currently in 3rd in GT4. Let's actually check in with Nick. He's kind of a little ways back from Paul York, but got about 3.5 seconds on Brian Buchanan. He's going to make some good points. He was at 49 points, so he was in 3rd and only 1 point behind Stephen Wallace, Tanner Schiffner, who were tied for 1st and 2nd, respectively. Paul York, you want to talk about somebody who's making some moves right now. Paul York with that four-place lead on David Schneider right now. Going to get him some real good points in GT4 AM. Taking a look. Ben O'Shea, he's going in the pits. We got our first pit runner. 4 LMP3s pulling in, and we are at the 22, almost 23-minute mark. So he's going to take his pit stop early, going to try the Giga undercut and see what he can do with that. Just a reminder again. Oh, he's up on jacks too. He's taking tires, ladies and gentlemen. That means that if he does another pit stop to get to the end, it's going to be a splash. So he's going to drop behind Ethan Hamlet in the GT3 field. So he's going to come out in some GT3 traffic. So we're going to see what Ben can do when he gets back out on track. In the meantime, Mike Bowen still chasing down Bruno Clemente after Bruno had his spin in the final complex. Waiting to see. We do have a lot of GT4 runners that have already hit the pits, but I think most of that's due to incidents. We got Andrew Mathias, Logan Branson, Oscar Brown, Tanner Schiffner. So they're all pitting early, dealing with the damage, trying to do some damage limitation in the race. But of those, the one that is going to probably get the most impact or negative effect, it's probably going to be Tanner Schiffner, because he's pro category and he's currently running behind Oscar Brown. Ooh, Kyle Potter having a bit of a moment there, maybe, with Benjamin O'Shea after he comes out of the pits. Bit of a moment. Easy there, boys. Corey Lobner's got some LMP3 traffic in the background. It's going to be Mark Coyne coming around him as he goes through Parabolica. Once again, thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for joining us for round number 2, Hockenheim Ring. Really excited to be here. Really excited to be back for season 3. Benjamin O'Shea is still moving through the GT3 field, trying to catch back up to Ethan Hamlet now so he can clear him and get back with his LMP3 compatriots. The Bruno Clemente, Mike Bowen battle continues. And it looks like Tommy Cogan's looks like Bruno's catching up to him. Last lap from Bruno Clemente was a 37.28. Tommy Cogan had a 38.06. So Tommy's running low 38s, which is not good for this field. Ethan Hamlin's running 36.8, and Kyle Potter's running 37.8s. Let's jump on board from Mike Bowen's perspective. Take a peek from the 19 Aston Martin. So Bruno Clemente diving into the pits. We actually had another GT4 pit stop. Paul York diving in the pits. He was on jacks for 37.45 seconds. Problem with that is that gave Andrew Matias like 12 seconds, almost 11 seconds in time advantage for Paul York. So he's going to lose a little bit of ground. And he cycled out behind Jamison Leckenby. We got Christopher Blue, Reese Alport. Leaders in GT4, Sophie Boozman and Matt Pyle, both in the pits. We're going to hang out here for a little bit and see how this shakes out. Does look like we got both GT4s up on jacks, so they're taking tires. And here we go, ladies and gentlemen. The pit stops in sports car series, they have an impact. They have a big, big impact. Christopher Blue has currently been on jacks for 44 seconds. Matt Pyle gets the jump, and I think he is going to cycle out ahead of Sophie. Sophie with a, we're going to take a peek real quick. So a 25.93 for Matt Pyle with a 28.25 for Sophie Boozman. So 3-second delta. And we see Matt Pyle cycle out ahead of Sophie Boozman for the lead of the race. Andrew Mathias had to take the pit stop early. Cycles out in third of GT4 Pro. That 25.67 putting him in a real good spot. So Andrew getting caught up in some shenanigans early on, but with the pit strategy, he's going to try and see if he can make it work. Now, because he had to pit so early, he pitted on lap 11. I'm kind of wondering if he's going to make it. So we're going to see. LMP3 runners are in. We got race leader Mike Lively, Scott Fleming, Jaden, Ledbetter, Gian Cardoso, Mark Coyne. They're all going in. The thing that's going to be interesting is we got LMP3s cycling out behind GT3s. Lively's off the jacks. Fuel's still going into the car. And Scott Fleming's going to get the jump on him. Scott Fleming with a 21.9 on the jacks. We're still waiting to see. Is it going to be Jaden or is it going to be Michael that are going to jump out? Both of them bid on jacks for 50 seconds. So, oh, somebody's black flagged. Ah, I see. Okay. So with that, Luke Patrick in here, it's lead of this race, with Scott Fleming in second. Mike Bowen's in the pits. So Ethan Hamlin has already taken the pit stop. 22.53 seconds, very clinical for Ethan. Not the fastest, though. Kyle Potter with a 22.07 in GT3. Fastest pit stop. Ethan's already around. Is Kyle Potter going to get to him? Let's find out. I think he's going to do it. Yep, Kyle Potter's going to get out ahead of Mike Bowen, and wow, that was very dangerous. One, that's going to be an off track probably, if not a slowdown, and two, that was pretty big move. Bruno Clemente talking about big moves. 21.33, fastest GT3 pit stop, gets out in front of Mike Bowen with a 22.2. So Jaden and Michael, after both serving black flags, coming out behind the LMP3 AM runners. Jake Fulton got the jump on the pit stop. He was in there for 24.4. Emery Anderson in there for 25.78. So he took the top spot in LMP3 AM. But the big story, ladies and gentlemen, black flags for both Michael Lively and Jaden Ledbetter, and Luke Patrick and Scott Fleming, Gian Cardoso are your three front runners for LMP3. Pretty big news. That's a pretty big deal. Bruno Clemente shaking it up. Back in third after losing it in the final complex. Has worked his way back up to third in front of Michael Bowen and Sean Sullivan. Tommy Cogan down in sixth now, and he's going to have to climb himself out of the cellar. He is currently 35 seconds back from Sean Sullivan in fifth. The other big story, Matt Pyle in the number 12, the Pyle driving AMG, finds himself ahead of Sophie Boozman, who is leading the race in GT4 Pro in the 217 for the majority. Man, there's so much. I just did a rundown, Chris. You want me to start over? Jeez. Andrew Mathias with a four lap undercut finds himself in third after executing a really good pit stop, and he is chasing down Sophie right now. 2.3 seconds. Last lap for Mathias was a 47.5. So Sophie's got a little bit of pace, about 4/10 on him. In fact, Matthias is actually more at risk from Corey Lobner in the 41 than he is a risk to Sophie right now. Luke Patrick, newcomer. Yeah. Look at this pit. So this guy right here, pit stop time, bonkers. 17.4. No tires. This man just threw in enough fuel to, like, make a statement, I guess. Cycles out in front. Scott Fleming got the jump. Well, I say the jump. Both Jaden and Michael Lively got hit with black flags. So they're now down at the back of the order. They just cleared Emery Anderson in LMP3 AM, and they're currently trying to chase down Jake Fulton. Mark Coyne is a P4. Yep. Hardest working man in sim racing. Nose to the grindstone, finding himself in 4th place. Yep. Chris is like, I want to believe. So the field has spread out. What I suspect, once everybody's everybody's done the pit stops. Once cars have cycled around a little bit, we're going to start seeing what the pace delta is going to be between the runners in the relative categories. We still have like 35 minutes of racing. So given where the pit stops were, I really think probably going to see another stop. Oh, we got some shenanigans. What's up? What's up here? Dave Schneider in the final corner. No, the penultimate corner. Oh, he started sliding, and then I think that was Jake Fulton just gave him a tap to spin him all the way around. And he rolls it back, waits for the traffic. Smart play. What happened to Corey? Corey, I think he's getting ready to go into the final corner complex. Did he get tapped or net coded? That looks like net code. I didn't see those cars touch. Did you see that? Was that like a psychic punt? Like, what happened? We're going to go back and look at that again. I want to see that again. Look at it one more time. Let's go to TV2. See if we can see it. So his rear end is already unsettled. Dude, there's no way they touched. No way. There's enough space there for the Holy Spirit. 100%. Yeah, it's not a good move, but it just doesn't look like they touched. I think the netcode just caught him. Like, probably shouldn't have made the move there, but yeah. Yeah, literally could have waited to the straight. 100%. Michael Lively moving through traffic. Well, I say traffic. He's caught up to Jake Fulton now. And these two not in the same class in LMP3. He's going to try and set him up for the move going into the hairpin. Jake's giving him plenty of space. A little bit of a twitch from Mike on corner exit. We got Jaden in the background. There's Emery. Well, field's tightening down in GT4 AM. Paul York now in 6th with Jameson Leckenby in 9th. So the points are starting to close down a little bit in GT4 AM. The netcode just saved them damage. Yeah. Ooh, Dave Schneider crashed. What happened here? Go take a peek. Dave Schneider. What happened, Dave? On the brakes. Okay. I mean, that... All right. Okay, Iris. Is that a crash? I don't know. I don't know if that is a crash. Benjamin O'Shea out of the final corner, and he did the Gian Cardoso, but managed to whip the car back the opposite direction and then just cleverly spins the car back out and then comes back to the inside of the track. Very smart play. Very smart play. Saved damage limitation move right there from Benjamin O'Shea. Currently in 5th, trying to chase down Mark Coyne. Ooh, here we go. Here we go. Mark Coyne sees Gian Cardoso in the foreground. Let's get in the roll bar. Oh, we're still replay. Thank you. It's going to be a little bit closer when we go to it now. Or no, he's already gotten around Gian Cardoso. Let's do the pass. We should do the pass. Let's go do that real quick. You would have seen the pass if I'd have left it there. So I don't know why you're making a big deal about it. Because he was behind him, and then we switched to live, and he's in front of him. So if you miss the pass, that's on you. So yeah, Mark Coyne getting it done in the final complex, moving up into 3rd. So the podium dream. Podium dream was alive and well. Let's go back to live now and check in with Jameson, because Jameson's going to be the next closest person on track. So the STR Ford chasing down Tanner Schiffner. Again, these two are not in class. But Jameson's going to try and get around Tanner so he can try and do some point squeeze on Paul York. But you did just see the pass happen. I went to the replay where the pass occurred. And if we'd left the camera there, you'd have gotten to see it. Not only the pass happen, but you would have seen like the setup. But that's okay. Okay. Not all of us can be patient. Fine. V8 greater than inline 6. I mean, in terms of number of cylinders. It's also carrying around more weight. Ooh, Mark Coyne under pressure. Gian Cardoso's battling back. He's not letting him go. He's not letting him go. Jameson's going to get the move done on Tanner Schiffner. We'll go take a look at that one here in a minute. He's going to see if we could see GM put Mark under some pressure. Tanner Schiffner in the pits again. Did Tanner get damage? Ooh, Gian getting brave. That almost ended in tears. This GT4 is holding him up. It's giving him an opportunity. Gian's sitting on 15 off tracks. Sean Sullivan in the pits. These could be people that knew they were going to be needing another stop, taking the early one. I think that could be what's going on. Although Sean Sullivan's at 16 off tracks, I wonder if he got hit with the black flag. Yeah, because I don't see him. I see a 30-second pit lane travel time. And I don't know. He's on jack for 11 seconds, or not on the jack, in the box for 11 seconds. So he might have done splash early. Get that done. We got some other action starting up in GT3. Sean Sullivan getting close to the danger zone. Going after Mr. Tommy Cogan. "43 minutes, 33 seconds into our feature race, 28 laps. Done and dusted. Luke Patrick still in the lead. He's got a 10-second interval on Scott Fleming with Mark Coyne in third, who's pulling away ever so slightly from Gian Cardoso. Actually, I think the thing that it's about to start heating up, yeah, it's heating up pretty quick. We're going to switch over to it. This battle in LMP3's, Michael Lively is right there with Benjamin O'Shea, and Jaden Ledbetter's in the background. We're going to go from Jaden's perspective and take a peek. The new Aston's pretty good. That's cool. Shout out to Junior NTC46 for the follow. Thank you so much. Looks like we're doing okay right now. Haven't had too many stutters, and the overlay hasn't crashed, so aces. All right, taking a look through the field. Yeah, most of the field's spread out right now. I think if we're going to see any kind of drama here at the end, it's probably going to be based on pit stops. It wasn't on release, but they gave it some help to be in line with the other cars. O'Shea chose wrong rip. You mean in terms of taking tires and not taking tires? Or letting Michael Lively go? Jaden's catching up to him now. Pick the wrong side of the car. Try and go. Yeah. Traffic management. That's the one thing that I think is... we got Michael Lively. He manages just to keep it out of the wall. We're going to watch that slide, though. That's a big boy slide. That is a big boy slide. Look at this. He keeps it out of the wall. Oh, and then... Oh, no. And then takes the engine cover to the moon. Oh, man. Unfortunate. So he's lost his rear downforce. So he's probably going to take the pit early and then try and see if he can make a comeback. Nick Bowen's in the pits early. So we're probably going to see Mike Lively go in. Luke Patrick, by the way. Are you ready for this, Chris? Luke Patrick? Last lap? His last lap was a 33.5. The lap before that was his best lap, a 33.46. Like, homie's blasting. Well, he's 3/10 faster than Scott Fleming right now. Actually, he's faster than anyone else in an LMP3 right now. Yeah, he's doing it. Reese Alport's in the pits. Looks like this one might be a shorty. So Michael Lively did go to the pits. We're going to see if he does the fast repair or not. He can take fuel. He can't take tires, I think, with the fast repair. But we'll see here in a minute. Man, with the black flag and then having to go into the pits again, that's really killing Mike Lively's points. And he came into this round with no points. Luke's? iRating? I actually don't know what his iRating is. I don't have the. Oh, wait a minute. No, I actually got it right here. So Luke is 38.29. Yeah, 38.29, and Mike is 25.63. So yeah, Luke's almost like 4K. Highest in the field right now is Mike Bowen with a 48.44, I think. He's currently in fourth. Mark Coyne's going in the pits. Yep, we're gonna have some pit stops that are gonna happen. People are gonna be taking some pit stops. Probably gonna get that splash. Gonna try and see if they can convert the rest of the race. Get some good points. Mark Coyne in. Let's take a look. Who's close? I mean, again, the field's pretty spread out at this phase. I think if we're looking for close, we're probably going to have to go into GT3 category. Look at this battle between Mike Bowen and Bruno Clemente. And it does look like Kyle Potter's not that far ahead. Yeah, Kyle Potter's been shedding some pace. Last lap was a 37.97. Bruno was a 37.68. So Mark Coyne's going to cycle out behind Jaden Ledbetter, but in front of Jake Fulton. So he's in front of the LMP 3 AMs. Andrew Mathias is in. He's pitting from third. Matt Pyle's still in the lead, currently with a 7-second gap on Sophie Boozman. Paul York has re-extended with Andrew Mathias taking his pit stop because he had to take his pits early, pitted on lap 11. So he's taking his pit stop now, and he should be good to get to the end of the race because he's got 20 minutes thereabouts. So he should be good. So he'll cycle out, and now that's got that 3-car buffer for Paul York between him and Jamison Leckenby. So he's got a good points buffer there. Mike Bowen is closing in. Mike Bowen is closing in. Gian Cardoso in the background there. So Gian currently in second. So Luke Patrick is pitted second time for 17 seconds. Again, getting the splash. So he's back out, cycles out behind Gian Cardoso. So Scott Fleming, Gian Cardoso, Luke Patrick. And then Ben O'Shea, Jaden Ledbetter, Mark Coyne. Jameson's in the pits. We're getting close to the end. Oh, man, GT4 force wide there. Oh, no, that's the GT3. That was Kyle Potter. It's weird. It feels like the GT4 Mustang is taller than the GT3 one. Do you feel like that's the case, Chris? Gian Cardoso's in the pits. So Gian's taking the pit stop. Scott Fleming gonna push. Gonna try and get an extension going. So Luke Patrick, 17.15 in the box, getting fuel. Kyle Potter's in the pits. So Kyle Potter's taking the pit stop. That's going to put Bruno Clemente and Michael Bowen now second and third, respectively, in GT3. We do have some GT4 runners that have taken the second pit stop. That's Sophie, Andrew, and Nick have all taken the pit stop. Sophie with the splash, 16.37, and Nick Bowen also with the splash with a 14.95. So Andrew, odd man out with the 22.2. Hopefully that doesn't cost him too much in the grand scheme of things. Paul York wants to stop the count. He's third in GT4 AM, and he's got a 5-place buffer on Dave Schneider right now. Oh, my goodness. Oh, the LMP3 doesn't know where to go. Does he get around him? Yeah. Christopher Blue's in. The lone Corvette in the 530. Christopher Blue upgrading to GT3 after winning the GT4. I believe the GT4. Was it GT4 Pro? No, I think it was GT4 AM category last season. Dave Schneider was, or no, excuse me, Tanner Schiffner was in. Oscar Brown is in. And we have a gaggle of cars going into turn 3. Uses the big boy suspension. Uses that big safe suspension built for, you know, carrying your kids to soccer practice. Paul York is out, and that points drop has now gone to a 3-place advantage to Dave Schneider right now. So after the pit cycle, well, actually, we're not done yet because Matt Pyle, Ryan Buchanan, and Corey Lobner have yet to stop. Scott Fleming has yet to stop. Luke Patrick is back in second, and Jaden Ledbetter is in third with Mark Coyne in the background, 10 seconds in the background. Jaden Ledbetter has yet to stop. He went 18 laps, though. Let's take a peek. Closest battle on track, Bruno Clemente in the lead. No, GT3. He's split right now, so he's in second, 35 seconds back from Ethan Hamlin. We got an LMP3 AM and an LMP3 Pro in there. Did Gene get hit with like some sort of penalty or something? He had 50 seconds in the box. Bruno's taking his pit right now. Bruno's taking his pit. Matt Pyle's taking his pit. Where's Matt Pyle going to cycle out? So let's take a look. We got Sophie Boozman right now getting ready to exit the final corner. And Matt Pyle is off the jacks. Back out on track. Looks like he's going to cycle out in front of Sophie. Ryan Buchanan will drop to third. Corey Lobner in fourth. And where's Matthias at? Is Matthias going to get by? Matthias is going to clear both Lobner and Buchanan. And Buchanan actually jumping out in front of, well, hasn't jumped out in front of Lobner yet. Now he has. And Paul York's going to be hitting the line right now, too. Oof. Sean Sullivan in the mix there. He's trying to navigate these GT4s. Oh, we got a front end off on, I believe that's Dave Schneider. Maybe? Is that Dave Schneider? Yeah. Exited turn 3. Oh, he just lost the rear end. Whole tires. Had to be. Ethan Hamlin's out on track. Yeah, it's a big oof. Big oof moment. So the closest battle we got going on right now is between Paul York, Nick Bowen, and Corey Lobner. And Paul York is going to try and hang on to this spot, I think. We are 57 minutes, 15 seconds in, so we've got less than 13 minutes. Paul York's going to try and hang on to this buffer because that's a good points haul for him in GT4 AM on Jameson Leckenby and Oscar Brown. Oscar Brown currently running in 10th relative to Paul York in 5th, and that's going to be enough to push Paul York to the front of GT4 AM for sure. Matt Pyle, 9.7 seconds on Sophie Boozman, who led the majority of this race. Andrew Matthias, he is About 9 seconds back from Sophie. So that field is kind of set. Paul York drops to Nick Bowen. Gian Cardoso on the outside. He's going to have to be careful. GT4s are fighting for position. And there goes Jake Fulton. I believe this is going to give Corey Lobner the opportunity up the inside in turn 6. Compromises line. He's going to get set up now for turn 7, going through this medium speed right-hander. I'd say it's more fast speed. Oh, man. Corey just losing out on the line. And Paul York's going to stay right where he is in P6. Emery Anderson in the pits, probably for the last time this race. So here's the thing. Luke Patrick was pulling some serious lap times, right? Scott Fleming is Scott Fleming is 1 second behind right now. Where did the gap go? Indeed. Last lap from Luke Patrick was a 34.8. So I don't know. Scott Fleming was 37.3. I think I know where the gap went. Pit stop for Luke Patrick was a 17.15 in the box. And Scott Fleming was an 11.03. So then I'm assuming Patrick cycled out behind Scott Fleming with that delta. Although, I mean, he still had a sizable one on him before the pit stop. So maybe he lost some time in traffic. Mike Bowen in the pits for the last time. Where's Kyle Potter at? Let's go see where Kyle's at. Kyle Potter, he's just now exited the penultimate corner and going into the final corner. Oh, dude, Mike Bowen hasn't even hit the box. Oh, no, he has hit the box. Mike Bowen in the box for 9.4 seconds. Scott Fleming is hanging though. He's keeping it like a second back from Luke Patrick. Less than a second now. Michael Lively jump into the pits. Unfortunate. And I think he alt F forward. Taking a look through the field. Gian Cardoso's trying to get around these GT3s. And this battle at the front is not over. The traffic is catching Luke Patrick out, and it is keeping Scott Fleming in this. Mark Coyne podium is still in the cards, yes. Yeah, he's currently got 11 seconds on Jaden. And Mark Steele the win. I mean, if they do, they've got this traffic to navigate right now, which is kind of a big deal. Like they're going through Parabolica right now, and they still got some traffic that is just now exiting the hairpin. So given kind of like how fast they're going to catch, this is either, I think that's Tommy Kogan they're catching. Oh, man. And that's going to give him a little bit of a buffer for before Scott Fleming gets around him. And Scott's just going to have to wait. Yeah, see, it took them a little bit longer than I expected to clear Tommy. That's got to impact. And, man, there are marbles all over the entry into the final complex. All over the road. So grip in the final complex has been a problem for people pretty much all day, and I'm pretty sure it's going to continue to be a problem all the way to the end of the race. Because we are now in the we're now inside 7 minutes. 7 minutes to the end of this race. Luke Patrick is starting to open that gap up now. He's got a little bit of clear air before the next GT4 pocket, so he's just going to try and make hay. And he's got a 3/10 advantage on Scott. Yeah, Scott did almost die. That was pretty hairy. Let's jump around. What do we got going on here? Actually, the field's pretty spread out. This is basically looks like the closest thing going on right now. Oscar Brown has crashed. I think Oscar Brown just went wide. I don't think Oscar Brown crashed. Yeah, he just goes deep. Goes deep. Maybe his tires were shot. Man, that rejoin, though, in front of Scott Fleming. How many laps is that? 6 minutes to go. So with 6 minutes to go, I'd say like 4, maybe 5 with a bonus lap, depending on where people finish. Oh, okay. That was close. That was very close. Race leader Luke Patrick almost gets clobbered by GT3. That's pretty crazy. Here at the end, they're hitting that pocket of traffic again. I wonder if this is going to allow Scott to close back up, although Scott did lose quite a bit of time clearing the recent pocket. He's back 2.3 seconds now. Gian Cardoso is closing the gap down to Emery. Gian Cardoso, third in the points in LMP3 Pro, but coming away from this race with a 7th place finish, that is going to definitely disrupt his campaign. Both of them pushing wide out to the gravel. Bold move. I think the start to Gian's heat race basically set the stage. Just never really had a comeback after that. So out of the final corner, is he going to make the move into turn 2? He's got the nose alongside. And he gets it done. Bruno Clemente off track. We gotta go back and take a look at this. Where's Sean Sullivan at? Sean Sullivan's over here. I don't see Bruno in the background, but that is manages to keep it out of the wall, but then comes back on track and touches Bruno, and then Bruno's off. So Bruno then goes off. Wow. Wow, man. That's some wild stuff. That was some wild stuff. I don't know about that one, Chief. You're not wrong. That was a rejoin. All right, so Emery's still trying to hang on. Luke Patrick's got less than 4 minutes. He's built that gap now to 2.8 seconds. Ethan Hamlet, by the way, is 31 seconds ahead of Mike Bowen. Matt Pyle holding 9 seconds, so he's basically stabilized the gap to Sophie Boozman. Paul York in, I believe, 6th place has got a 3-place advantage on Jamison Leckenby. So rejoin into a defense. Yeah. Rejoined into a bonk. All right, so let's see how much time's left when he comes across the line. So he comes across the line with, what is that? Like 2 minute 20? Yeah. So I'd say 3 laps. Yeah. To the end. taking a peek around. We're just going to let the camera roam for a little bit. Jaden's got to clear some GT4 traffic now. Jaden recovering to a 4th spot when Michael Lively retired the car. That is going to be big points for Jaden. That's for sure. Vincent LaRue was a scratch in LMP3 Pro, so that's going to give Benjamin O'Shea an opportunity. Although Benjamin's in 5th, but that's still pretty good points. But he's only got like 1 spot on Giancarlo, so those two are going to still hang relatively close to one another. Mike Bowen currently in 2nd place, holding a 6.8 second gap on Kyle Potter. Really good race here. And just remember, everybody, round 3 Sports Car Series, November 1st, we're going to be doing 70 minutes at Sonoma with the roller coaster because Jaden woke up and chose violence when he came up with the schedule. Yeah, did you hear that, Chris? We're going to be doing the roller coaster at Sonoma with 3 classes. It's going to be great. Ethan Hamlet. You're keeping up with Mark Coyne. And time is going to have lapsed. So we got Luke Patrick right now heading into his final series of corners. And that is definitely a choice. That is going to be, it's going to be a spicy meatball. You're going to want to tune into that, ladies and gentlemen. November 1st, same bat time, same bat channel. 70 minutes at Sonoma Raceway. It's going to be pretty good. I should be there, and I think Ben will be back with us in the booth, running the ship. And there is your race winner, Luke Patrick, and Scott Fleming's going to come across the line in 2nd. He's going to come home with a good haul of points. Mark Coyne, the hardest working man in sim racing, going to take the 3rd step of the podium. Jaden Ledbetter looks like he's positioned for a 4th place finish. And then Benjamin O'Shea, Gian Cardoso, Emery Anderson's going to take the top LMP3 AM with Jake Fulton in 2nd. Ethan Hamlet keeping the perfect streak going, taking round 2. Big showing for Ethan. Mike Bowen, only person that really could come close to Ethan's pace. He's just now approaching the penultimate corner. It looks like he's going to come across the line in 2nd, with Kyle Potter, Sean Sullivan, Tommy Kogan rounding out the top 5. Bruno Clemente, Christopher Blue, Reese Alport are going to finish the race out, with Logan Cease and Austin Green not finishing. Matt Pyle is he's going to take the top spot in GT4 Pro with Sophie Boozman in 2nd. Andrew Mathias with the shenanigans manages to finish 3rd. Big showing for Mathias. Ryan Buchanan 4th, Nick Bowen in 5th. Paul York's going to take the top spot now in GT4 AM, with Corey Lobner, Tanner Schiffner splitting Jamison Leckenby, who's 2nd highest point scorer in GT4 AM. Oscar Brown, Logan Branson, Dave Schneider, and then Dave Lively did not finish the race. Sonoma was all Ethan. Ethan's a madman. Man after my own heart. You can only claim Coda and Red Bull. You put Coda in there, you're definitely not going to win any popularity putting Coda on the calendar. Ladies and gentlemen, that is the end of the race. We can take a look at, go to, here real quick, pull up the results. I think I can pull this off. Yeah, let's go to LMP3 and show. Oh, let me clear and then do the results. That'll help. There we go. Yeah, so Luke Patrick, your winner. Scott Fleming and Mark Coyne round out your podium. Good points finish for both. Well, actually, good points finish for everybody involved. Luke Patrick. What is Luke Patrick going to be doing points-wise? This one. So Luke Patrick actually didn't have any points on the board. So that's going to be a really good outcome for him. Scott Fleming is probably, I mean, he had only 4 points. It looks like he might not have participated in the feature race. So it's going to be a good points haul for him. But Mark Coyne, ladies and gentlemen, came into this race with 43 points, tied for third with Gian Cardoso, and then finishes third. A big points haul for him. I think that's going to be a big deal. A big, big deal. Anyway, GT3, Ethan Hamlet, 110 points. Perfect marks. Mike Bowen. So Mike did not have any points on the board before this race, so good showing from him. Same for Kyle Potter. In fact, the only person in this grid that had points going into this race was Tommy, I think, is the highest finisher with points, and he's tied for second with 47. So he's gonna hang pretty high up there with Austin Green not finishing the race. So I think he's gonna get promoted to second. Let's take a look at GT4. See where the points are gonna line up over there. Actually, we'll do it split. We'll do GT4 Pro. We'll do that one. Matt Pyle, top of the points. Matt Pyle is definitely going to make hay because he finished ahead of Stephen Walls, Tanner Schiffner, and Nick Bowen. Good points all for him. Stephen Walls was a retirement. Tanner Schiffner was a lap down in 7th in GT4 Pro. So Matt Pyle's going to come away with some big points. Sophie Boozman didn't have any on the board, but that's gonna put her in the mix. And Andrew Matthias had, 6th in the points, but with Jake Hewitt not here, he's going to make some moves. He's going to close the gap to Tanner Schiffner and Nick Bowen. Going to be interesting. Over in GT4 AM, a little bit different of a situation going here because we had a tie at the top with Oscar Brown and Paul York. Paul York's going to take the top spot for sure after this one. Oscar, because of the size of GT4 AM, Oscar Brown's probably going to have some damage limitation, but because there was there was like 3 places between Paul and Oscar, Paul's going to probably pull a bit of a gap. I think John Newman was a scratch for tonight, so he's gonna drop down the order. But we're gonna see. We're gonna see how the points shake out. Anyway, let's go ahead and switch back over to race information. Go to that scenic cam. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for being a part of the action for round 2 of the Sports Car Series. Let's check out chat, see what people got going on. Well, I mean, the stream didn't die. The overlay died. Like, if you watch the replay back, I kind of, lose my mind a little bit in the heat race. The overlay died, and when it refreshed, for whatever reason, it, offset the overlay by, 400 or 500 pixels to the left. No reason. I just closed and reopened the overlay, 3 times, and finally it was back to normal. Gian's like, holy moly, that was a race? Yes, that was a race. Okay, so Oz Simulations is... Oh, switching from the Fanatec. Fantastic. Fantastic, sir. Jeremiah's like, Sonoma's such a great track. Been there many times. Looking forward to the next race. Absolutely. Gonna be a lot of fun. I want to thank you all for hanging out here. Let's find someone to go raid. So let's go ahead and switch back over to the intro screen. Actually, we're going to leave it here because I don't think I actually have my mic set up for that. So it was insane, Zell. You are not wrong about that at all. Yeah, you're not wrong. Not even a little bit. Oh, I know who we're going to go. I know who we're going to go raid. This guy is an absolute legend in supercars. Okay? Been racing supercars in and he's doing the V8 supercars. He's doing V8 Scops Bathurst 1000 right now. So Habbo 88. He's been doing iRacing for a while. We're gonna go give him the raid. I want to thank you all so much for being here. It was a lot of fun. I hope you guys had a blast. Go say hi to Habbo for me. And yeah, we'll catch you guys November 1st at Sonoma. Until then, stay frosty out there. Catch you guys later.